How's it going, everyone? I want to welcome you to another episode of Dude I Love or Hate My New Ride Home Edition. In this video, we are going to take a look at 3 unlikely daily drivers, because not everyone has the option to keep both a weekend vehicle and a daily driving vehicle, and some of us just want to spend as much time as we possibly can in those vehicles that we're enthusiastic about, and one such driver is Tom with his 2011 GT500.
Hello, this is Tom Buckton from Rotterdam, New York, and this is my 2011 Mustang Shelby GT500. I've had this car for about 4 years now, and I bought it in 2016 with 15,000 miles on it. I do drive this car a lot. It is my daily driver whenever it's above freezing, and I did drive it through 2 New York winters with snow tires on it, so I've put about 30,000 miles on it in that time frame. One thing you might notice on this car as I'm walking around it is that it has much narrower stripes than are usual on Mustangs or Shelbys. The reason for that is for 2011 and 2012, this was an appearance change they did for the Performance Pack editions. In addition to the narrower stripes, you got lowered suspension, stiffened suspension, changed rear end to 373s, and a staggered wheel setup to give you 20-inch wheels in the back and 19-inch wheels in the front. A couple of minor cosmetic mods I've done on this car is the Shelby intake scoops there and the aluminum fuel door, just to make it look a little more aggressive. Overall, I do love the looks of this car. Prefer this generation of Mustang over the new ones, even though I know the new ones perform somewhat better on the handling department. On the inside of the car, looks a lot like a standard Mustang here. No real changes. For the Shelby, they do put the striped accents on the seats, little Shelbys on the seats there, and on the steering wheel, and of course I put in my custom Shelby knob. This one does have the premium package with the touchscreen and the navigation set in there. A couple little extra add-ons you see. I 3D printed myself a phone mount because there's no good phone place in this car, and a little cell phone charger that's kit from Knight Rider, just because that's an awesome location for it. One thing you might notice is the cup holders in here are stuck into a little bit of a door. You can open and close to hide them away, and they do have this nice little LED ring that is color changing, and I can change that to any color I'm looking for. Overall, I find this interior very comfortable as a driver, but as you can see, the back seats are very tiny. So when my kids were younger, this was a great family car, and we did a lot of long road trips in it. Now that they're older, they don't really fit in anymore. All right, so with a car like this, you can't look at it without listening to it. So I'm gonna have my daughter help me out, hop in the car here and fire her up. I do have a Borla Attack aftermarket exhaust system on this, so it's a bit louder than stock. I love it, my neighbors hate it. Go ahead and fire it up, Chloe. Love that low throaty growl there. All right, give it a rev. One more. And I love the snaps and crackles. All right, let's go take a quick look under the hood. Go ahead and pop the hood. All right, so under the hood is a 5.4 liter V8 engine that is supercharged. It's an aluminum block, which was first a new thing for the year 2011, and that took 100 pounds off the nose. I put an aftermarket supercharger on here, upgrading from the factory 1.9 liter Eaton to a 2.3 liter VMP TVS. It's got an aftermarket intake on here, and the combination of those two things, along with the exhaust and a custom tune from VMP Racing, means that this engine is about 700 horsepower, 650 foot-pounds of torque at the crank. That translates to about 600 horsepower, 550 foot-pounds of torque at the rear wheels. That's running a 2.6-inch pulley right now. A couple other minor things done with the engine are the intake catch cans on both sides to catch some oil blow by, and a lower temperature thermostat to keep things cool. All right, let's see if we can hear some supercharger whine. Go ahead and rev it up. One more, hold it. All right, you hear a little bit there. It sounds a lot better under load, and at high RPMs, the whine takes over the exhaust, believe it or not. So, this is a car, I absolutely love it. I wish my family still fit in it to use it for road trips all the time. Puts a smile on my face every time I drive it. Doesn't get the best gas mileage. I get about 12 mpg around town, but this car is about miles per gallon, not miles per gallon. So this is Tom Buckton from Rotterdam, New York. That's my daughter Chloe in the car. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you TFL for hosting this video.
Well, thank you, Tom, for sending in your Mustang. I'm surprised to hear that you drove this in the winter. Even with snow tires, I'll bet it's a major handful. That being said, I can't blame you for wanting to drive it because a manual transmission and a supercharged V8 is the perfect combination, and I'm sure that car hauls like nobody's business. So for that, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Thanks again. Next up, we have a 2012 Touareg that was sent in to us by a viewer named Mark. And although a Touareg is not an unusual daily driver, this particular one is.
My name is Mark McVitie. This is my 2012 Volkswagen Touareg TDI. This is the start to my overland build. It has a 2.5-inch spring spacer lift sitting on 17 by 7.5 XD rims and 33 and 11.5 inch BFG KO2s. This is the Highline model, so in Canada that is, in 2012, that was the second highest trim. The only thing it doesn't have is 21-inch rims and xenon headlights, but I don't need 21-inch rims anyway. So what else is done to it? It has a 3-liter diesel that has been remapped and an exhaust. So it's about 300 horse and 500 some torque. Yeah, so I wanted to build this because so many people say the T3 Touareg just can't go off-road or can't overland, and I'm just gonna prove them wrong. The torque sensing differential or brake lock differentials, whatever you want to call them, work exceptionally well on these vehicles. You add the tires and the lift kit, and it is very capable. I have about 12 inches of ground clearance, maybe a little more. The rockers are 17 inches from the ground. Yeah, so I'll show you the engine bay. There's nothing really to it, but it does have a cheap cone filter on there now just for fun. I'm actually having a snorkel made, but yeah, that's the diesel. It has the 8-speed Aisin high torque transmission, which also works fantastic. Tows amazing, as these are rated at 7,700 and some pounds. It tows my snowmobiles, my Sea-Doos, no problem at all. Yeah. Anyway, there's future plans are roof rack, the snorkel, light bars. I have a brand new set of BFG KM2 mud terrains to go on it. What else? The inside, not much has changed. I have dirt, WeatherTech mats front, back, and rear. There's my co-pilot, 16-year-old Jack Russell named Buddy. I wrapped all the wood grain with 3M Vivid carbon fiber. I swapped out the steering wheel to a R-line, so now it has a paddle shifter as well. That's about it. Still gets high 20 miles per gallon on 33s. Like, I mean, it can't complain. There's really not much that I hate about this vehicle. The hardest part is finding aftermarket support for them. But on the other hand, that's exactly why I chose to build this, because it is rare and very little people do anything to them. So if you guys want to see more videos and pictures, I have tons of them on my Instagram. It is Mark, M-A-R-K _B _McVitie, M-C-V-I-T-T-I-E. And yeah, I have tons of content on this, and the build will continue. It's getting a winch as well, and yeah, just tons more to go.
Well, thanks for sending in your truck. And building a Touareg as an overlander is a really unique idea. I wouldn't have thought that that would be a car that would look good on 33s, but it really does. And it's also nice to hear that it has round about 500 foot-pounds of torque. I'll bet it feels pretty peppy. So for that, I'm gonna give this thing a 7 out of 10 because it's cool and I'm sure it's still pretty practical. Lastly, we have something very unusual, which is a super clean 1994 Cadillac Fleetwood that was sent in to us by a viewer named Jordan, so let's give it a look.
Hey TFL, this is Jordan coming to you from Illinois in a little town called Genoa. What I'm going to show you today is my current daily driver, which I've had for a little over 2 years now, which is my 1994 Cadillac Fleetwood Brougham. And you could tell right off the bat one of my custom touches, which basically I tried to mimic the 9C1 wheels, but with a little style of my own. These are pretty much just my summer wheels. I still keep the stock Cadillac wheels, but I put a set of winter-friendly tires for that. Which, given how many winters I've driven this through, it is still in immaculate shape. It is a silver gray metallic with the gray interior, leather, the mandatory Brougham vinyl top, which is in immaculate shape. Usually these get torn after this car being well over 25 years old now. So, and can't have a Cadillac without fender skirts. And all that chrome trim is in amazing shape. I'm glad I haven't had to try and source that yet. This is actually the third Cadillac Fleetwood of the B/D body variants I've owned. And then the old school, this is probably one of the last cars to ever do this, which is the cap behind the license plate. Sure, that's never going to come back. Look at all that room in there. Oh. And I'm sure most people don't have these still, but this still has the original window sticker. Yeah, $39,000 back in 1994, which I think I ran it through an inflation calculator, was a little over $60,000 in today's money, give or take. When I bought this, it had a little over 108,000 miles on it, so I've put quite a bit on the years I've owned it. Under the hood, we've got a 5.7 liter LT1 V8, which has not given me issues. I have not had any issues with any OptiSpark or water pumps leaks just yet, but I do keep my eye on it. It gets its regular oil changes, and I just try to keep it as immaculate as I can and just drive it. Alright, well, thanks for watching, and hope you guys stay healthy and we can get back to doing what we all like to do in the near future. Thank you.
Well, thanks Jordan for sending in your Cadillac, and I have to say that wheel tire combo on it looks perfect. It's spot on with the white tire letters, just gives it a totally different attitude, which I love. And beyond that, it's just amazing to see one of these in such good condition, inside and out. That digital dash, everything like that in perfect shape is just not something that you see very often, because most of these cars will run into the ground. And the same is true for the motor in it, because that 5.7 sounds strong, sounds healthy, sounds like it's got some muscle to it. So for that, I'm honestly gonna give it a 10 out of 10, because this is just the type of daily driver that you never see anyone in, and that's really cool. And if any of you out there have other cool, unique daily drivers that you want to send to us, please do. And here's Tommy to show you exactly how you can do that.
Hey, thank you for sending us your video here to TFL Studios so we can make it famous on Dude I Love My Ride Home Edition. Well, we noticed that a lot of people had some issues sending us files because emails are just not suitable for video. However, we do have a much better solution. It's a file service called WeTransfer, and WeTransfer is a way you can securely and safely and freely, we should say, send us your video files. That way the quality is better and there's no issues going down the road. So here's how you do it. If you're planning on using your cell phone to upload the files, like I think many of you will be, all you have to do is open up your browser, and this works both on Apple and Android, and type in TFLstudios.WeTransfer.com and then hit enter. Now it will take you to this page and you'll see a big button that says send a file. Click that and then tap I agree, and it'll give you a plus arrow where you can actually add your files. Add up to 20 gigabytes. So click that. I'm going to say photo library, videos, and then I'm going to select my video and hit done. So there you can see your video is added. In the message section, please add your name and your truck. So in this case, it'll be Tommy Micah, and the truck or car or whatever lawnmower is 2020 Nissan Titan, just so we know what's coming our way. And then click next. And then you plug in your own personal email. And what it'll do is send you a verification just to make sure you're a real person and not a robot, and click transfer. So it says verify your email. Go ahead and check your email and you'll see a code. And then go ahead and plug in your verification code. Alright, and verify. So once you're verified, you'll see it will upload your file to the internet, and you can see it going there. And then it will send a verification that you have completed your transfer and that we have received it. Now you can actually do the same exact process on a computer. It's just as easy. Let me show you. Here on the computer, it's the same exact process. So simply type in TFLstudios.WeTransfer.com and hit enter. And then here you'll see a little bubble that says add your files. So click on the file you want to add. Then plug in your email address, your personal email address, and a message. Once again, your name and your vehicle. So it'll ask you to verify your email again, and then you'll be ready to go. And we'll get your files a little bit quicker. It'll be a little bit easier. Well, thank you so much for contributing, and if you have any questions, email me, ask@tfltruck.com, and we'll help you through them.
Although cars like these might be impractical as daily drivers for any number of reasons, it's cool to see that people drive them anyways, because that means that they really enjoy their vehicles, and that's what being an enthusiast is all about. But that's all for this video. As always, this is Intern Case with the Fast Lane Car. Be sure to go back to TFL Car, TFL Truck, and TFL Off-Road for more news, views, and real-world reviews. Thanks everyone for watching, and stay safe.